Alright, everyone, hello and welcome back to Watching Walford, episode 15, an EastEnders podcast where we do a deep dive into all of the episodes that transpired on the 10th of the 4th, 2023, to the 13th of the 4th, 2023.
Or the 14th, because Joe Biden was in Ireland. So, thanks, Joe. Delaying my EastEnders.
Cheers, Joe. And yeah, likewise, welcome back to the Watching Walford channel, which is more than just one podcast, as we make news videos, opinion pieces, and occasionally delve into other soaps in the space. This podcast is just audio only, but we do intend on creating, some other stuff. You'll see.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Ash, and I'm joined by Piggy. How's it going, Piggy?
Right. So I'm going to quickly mention this. As you know, Joe Biden has been in Ireland. He's been up in Belfast and Dublin. He's not coming down near Kildare, where I live.
Yeah.
He's too posh for that. Kildare is like, no. Because, like London, the equivalent would be like London, and then I don't know what another place would be. That's like Dublin.
Okay.
And basically, you know the way New Zealand is called the All Black?
Yes.
Right. So Joe Biden was giving an interview in Dublin or Belfast. I think it was Dublin. Because Belfast is extremely bad timing. And he basically confused the All Blacks for the Black and Tans. Now, for people who are confused, the Black and Tans were basically police officers after World War One, who fought in World War One. I think they were basically old lads who thought they knew better, who were all black, and bet the crap out of the Irish. So Joe Biden confused the All Blacks for Black and Tans.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, he does he does have dementia or Alzheimer's or something, let's be honest.
But how do you confuse the two groups? Like, one is a famous group that just bet up the Irish. The other one is just a New Zealand or Australia team. I forget which one they are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's old Joe Byron. He's doing it. He's well, it's just, I don't know. I don't really have much to add to this because I had no idea this happened. But I do just laugh at the fact that, mate, if you think he's making any decisions, you are sorely mistaken. Yeah. I suppose, and this obviously lends into the week, as the Thursday episode was delayed to Friday in Ireland because Daddy Joe Biden.
But yeah, I'm doing good. I have started up a picture thread. Now, people might be confused. You might be wondering, what is a picture thread? Well, it's basically like stop motion, but you do less pictures. That makes sense.
Have
So like stop motion,
but like wrestling stuff, just to make it fully open. If people are unsure,
it's with wrestling stuff. Hey, I'm not doing fucking pornos with it now. It's just basically you grab two wrestlers. Let's say Kevin Nash or Randy Orton, and in stop motion you have to animate everything. Literally, Kevin Nash flicking his hair back. You have to animate Orton setting up for the RKO.
Yeah.
And with picture frames, you don't have to. You can kind of you skip a frame basically. Yeah. So instead of him setting up for the RKO, you just do the RKO. That makes sense.
Yeah, got it.
And it's going well. I think I've got a grasp of what I'm doing.
Nice.
I'm gonna have Maven in the cruiserweight division because Maven is our boy.
You just have to start like practicing some of the ideas, cooking it up. See the reception,
I'm gonna have Maven's gonna come out and win the world title. Run.
Yeah.
Who is the Maven of EastEnders? Let's get this straight first off.
Yeah, but first we have to. I mean, this is pretty self-indulgent, so it'll be fairly short. But how do we define Maven? Underrated, but like incredible at the same time.
He's underrated but crap. Because all he knew was
underrated but crap. Wasn't there for too long.
Was there between 01 and 05. He eliminated The Undertaker. He hated his theme song. Everyone, yeah.
The Maven of EastEnders.
He has to be is it Sack? Where he's underrated but he's crap. Is it Sack?
Sure, let's go for that one before we spend 10 minutes talking about this.
For people, for context, I would recommend, like, if you ever want to watch any wrestling but don't want to watch wrestling, try and hunt down the WWF season 1 of Tough Enough. It's
yeah, so it's a reality TV show, but it's about like these like rookies wanting to become a wrestler. But it was filmed at the time where obviously wrestling was real, you know, so it was still like, you know, they're doing all these challenges and they're still like, oh bloody hell, that was hard. I can't believe you went for me. And it's like, it was a bit of a peel behind the curtain before, you know, it was very open and aware that, you know, wrestling's scripted. But it does combine the drama, like, it's mental. It's really fun. I enjoyed all of them. It's the most reality TV you get.
There is definitely a scene I want to hunt down because I can't find it on YouTube. I might actually have to watch the Toughen Up episode. But there's a scene with Triple H where there's a guy with a Goldberg poster on his wall, and Triple H comes in and rips it off the wall and he goes, "He doesn't work here." He just buries Goldberg for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then there's the infamous moment where the one of the guys had his nuts hanging out his shorts and Triple H just chews his gum and goes, "Your nuts are hanging out your shorts."
Yep.
But yeah, I've been doing good. I'm getting a castle Wednesday, not an actual castle, a toy castle. And then next week I'm buying my plane ticket. I'm buying the SmackDown Fist, and that's it. So I will let you know next Saturday what I'm buying for the following week. So this week I'm saving up to buy a castle
And
for my picture fed.
Yeah, this week the streaming dream gets pushed back indefinitely.
Well, it's not my fault that AEW went where we're going to hold a show in August.
Yeah, true. Well, to be fair, you also backed Jesus.
Yeah,
Didn't help.
Well, I did back Jesus.
You seemingly just keep finding things where you're like, I want to pump money into this.
Also, I want to show you this video of Ferg. There's this video of Ferg that I have to send my dad. I want to show you. What do you think of this hamster?
Oh, that's one hell of a hamster right there. That will not be played on the screen, so let's carry on.
Yeah, that will not be played on the screen, but I just wanted to take out Ferg's hamster. But yeah, this PC streaming is being pushed back further. It will happen. Probably not in the year 2023, but definitely in the year 2024.
Wow.
Well, we never know. I might get my inheritance shortly, and then woo! Because inevitably, it's when I get the inheritance.
True.
And then when I get the inheritance, it's when we go to video.
Yeah.
Where we video us talking about EastEnders.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, America's also passing another law. You can. I found this hilarious last week. So I was looking at this TikTok that I've watched after we finished recording, and they basically want to bring in this where you can't say someone's pronouns basically. So they're not about like not Abraham Lincoln, George Washington's wife was Martha Washington.
Yeah.
They don't want you saying wife, but when they brought this up to the Senate, it was like, who is George Washington's wife? And then she went, Martha Washington. And he went, well, you can't say that. If you're bringing in this law where you can't say the pronouns. And she's like, no, but you can. So it's basically, do not say gay pronouns. Elton John is not a homosexual. he is a homo straight. He has a wife, and if people say he has a husband, we will sue.
Oh.
So yeah.
So it's just Christian America taking over again, right?
Yeah, and yeah, they're basically, it's hilarious because I was watching this video and basically just goes, yeah, who is George Washington's wife? And then she answers, and it's like, you do realize wife is an acronym for married? And she went, no, it's different. And I'm like, no, it's not.
This
It's only,
sounds like nonsense.
it is nonsense. It
Fair enough.
happened though.
Yeah,
It
got
did
it.
happen.
Got it.
How was your week?
I think it was alright. Don't really remember much of this week.
We had a bank holiday Monday.
We did have a bank holiday Monday. Still haven't had my Easter egg, unfortunately.
It is coming.
Still is that, has it been posted yet?
It's been posted Thursday. I will definitely post it Thursday. You're getting a delayed Easter egg.
That's fine by
Sorry.
me. Yeah. Obviously, I think last week I mentioned how I started being a bit more productive again. Started streaming stuff again. Started making videos. And I'll be honest, I do like to prepare in advance. So I must admit, I have made videos on the channel known as Aqua Dreams. I believe up all the way through May.
Woo!
Yeah, so it's been a bit busy, but it's been fun. It's been nice to be able to be productive again. It's one of those things where obviously the pills kicked in and I stopped having to deal with some extra stuff. So that obviously helped the anxiety levels lower, the depression started to fade away a little bit. But even for like a good month, I still wasn't really feeling like making anything. So it's been pretty good to be able to do that again. I don't think much else has happened.
Did you get Easter Monday off work, or did they
We
bring you in?
We did.
Oh, I can also bring up, I mentioned this on your stream, but a bunch of Christians got offended that Greg's removed hot cross buns off the menu. So yeah.
Yeah, but hot cross buns are garbage though.
It depends. Like, I like the Tesco hot cross buns, like with apple and cinnamon. I don't mind them.
That does sound good.
Because to me, a hot cross bun isn't religious. It's just a bun that has a cross on it.
Yeah,
If I
pretty
had
much.
like a portrait of Jesus being crucified, then it's Catholic. A Christian. Even though Christian and Catholics are nearly the same thing, only a few differences and a few wars. They're nearly the same thing.
Well, welcome to the anti-Christian episode of Watching Walford. Do you have anything else to say before we deep dive into the week?
I don't think I do. I will try and find more funny news for next week.
Yeah.
About Christians being offended. Last week it was Bud Light. This week it was hot cross buns.
Yeah. And into the transition. We kickstart the week with Stacy putting the Easter egg boxes out as she gets a phone call from SHIFTY SHIV. As Stacy does this, Howie leaves the Truman house and Kim is desperately trying to apologise, but he isn't having any of it. Kim wants to go to the hospital to see Denzel, but Howie can't look past her crashing and nearly killing Denzel because she was on her phone. Mate, the cheek of Howie to still stay in the house. Like, it's not your house, mate. I get that you're having an argument, but you're like, I'm going to bed, you stay outside. It's not your house, it's her house. It's just, I don't know, buckled me.
This is what I brought up last week.
Like,
how can he stay in that house if it's not his house?
Well, obviously Kim's not going to throw him out. You're angry at me, so fuck off.
She's like, look, I nearly killed your son, but fuck off.
But I need my 8 hours, so get out.
But your son can stay, just you, just out. Like it's so weird. Also, what Easter eggs was Stacy bringing out? I think they were lint.
Nah, there's no way they're affording lint. They were nondescript Tesco Easter eggs.
They looked like they were in lint boxes.
They looked very fancy, but honestly, I can't argue that I know what the boxes look like. What are you gonna do? Smell their breath? That lint Easter egg? I know a lint Easter egg when I see it.
Oh, I fucking love it. I went side note, I went to the lint shop in Kildare, and they had this massive Easter bunny for like 20 quid, and it was a giant Easter bunny. Like, as long as you can get the small ones, it was basically that, but large.
Mm.
Oh, it was. Lint is a lovely chocolate.
To be fair, the only thing I'd somehow put a weird distant memory in my brain where back in like year 8 or whatever, we went on a trip to Germany. We went to Stuttgart. It's fairly close to the border, but that's besides the point. Obviously, whilst going over the border, you go to the duty free, so it's not taxed in accordance to the UK or in general. So it's super cheap. So like all of the teachers were buying about like 12 crates of booze, about 10 packs of tobacco, but they also sell chocolate knobs and edible pants, which that was a fun discovery.
Edible what?
Edible pants.
Oh, did you try them?
No, unfortunately not. It's just, to be fair, we were also underage at the time, so I doubt we would have been able to. Do you have to be ID'd to buy a chocolate penis? Because I once got ID'd for trying to buy a pair of like squeezable testicles as like a stress relief.
If you buy it online, no. I assume if you're going into a sex shop.
Well, no, it wasn't in a sex shop. I was in a joke shop, and they're like, "Oh, well, you can't buy those testicles." And I'm like, "It's not like I haven't seen some before."
I have by often.
Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was gonna be like a joke gift from my mum. Yeah, I have some squeezy testicles. Done. Yeah, and I got ID'd for them. Anyways. We see that Chelsea and Denise are arguing over Chelsea becoming Ravi's alibi, and Denise bangs on Ravi's door, but Nugget answers angrily, saying, "My friend's in hospital, my dad might go back to prison, I don't have time for you two beefing." And this kind of makes him go, "Yeah, maybe our issues aren't that important. You know, let's think about the children." Nugget has actually been given some serious stuff to do this week, and it's been a very nice change because he's not been a gobshite.
No.
So, like, for the first time since he's been introduced, he's actually been allowed to be slightly serious. There's still a bit of the weird, like, teen EastEnders cringe right in there, you know, because. But
14.
He's starting to own it. Yeah, exactly. He's a teenager, and most of the EastEnders writers are probably 40. Who calls himself Nugget, for Christ's sake?
Is that his nickname or is that his biological name?
No, that's his nickname.
Oh, imagine.
I think his actual name is Davinder, I believe.
Imagine being in school and your actual name is Nugget. Can Chicken Nugget please come up to the class room, please?
Chicken Kiev, Sir Chicken Kiev back there. Bachelor noodles. Any bachelor noodle. Hot cross buns.
You get out of here. We have the Muslims here. You can't be in here. Get out of here. No, alright.
And yeah, carrying on. At the slightest, we see that Lily's upset as someone has eaten her cookie dough ice cream. The pricks. It was the kid. Stacey blamed the child. Lily reminds her that a next scan is today, and Stacey apologizes that she can't be there. But Lily tries to be like, "Yeah, it's no sweat. Like, if you're busy, you're busy. You're trying your best. I've got Ricky." As Stacey is still ignoring SHIFTY, but says nothing is going to stop her from being there. Stacy's ready to kill Shifty Shiv in a video game in Minecraft. About to batter him.
Well, it is fictional, so we can't say kill because, she's not actually going to shoot the actor.
Well, but just in case. YouTube guidelines. Then get any of us. We've been taken down before.
And we'll do it again.
And we rose up from the flames.
Just like Jesus.
When Eve and Suki arrive home, they talk about how they wish that these lasted longer, and they're happily living in Shagland. Eve touches Suki's leg as Nish launches the door open and sits them right back into reality. Apparently, he's got the whole day planned. Ah, isn't that fun? Suki's gonna be hating every single moment of it.
I wonder how it feels to be in a relationship where you're not happy and you want to get out of it, but you're afraid your partner's going to bend wall you. I wonder how it feels.
And for anyone who doesn't know that, kill you.
Yeah. Like, I wonder just how it feels.
I mean, you can even take a bunch of soap examples. In these situations, obviously it's a pretty serious topic because it's somewhat is an abusive relationship between Suki and Nish. Hard to agree otherwise. Obviously, he's taking every opportunity to kind of degrade her, force her to like just make the food and sit there and be pretty or something, just kind of not really be independent. Obviously, he's made her sign away all her property and money, which was not ideal, not the best move, Eve. And yeah, the soap examples are always a bit of a struggle because usually they barely manage to get away. In Coronation Street, there was Yasmin and Jeff. It only really ended when Jeff fell off a roof and died.
Harry and Janine, no.
That wasn't quite abusive. And yeah, he fell off a house and then died. People were quite upset that he didn't get like actually prosecuted, but obviously the ghost of Jeff still haunts Yasmin to this day. In Hollyoaks, there was Patrick and Maxine, where Patrick had pretty much, like I said, stripped away all of Maxine's independence, made her feel worthless, did hit her, and she barely managed to escape, but didn't manage to get far. Even when he died, he framed her for his death. So soaps are not the best example for abusive relationships and getting out safely. Usually you have to go to the extremes. Usually in soaps you have to go straight to the extremes to actually get any sort of peace.
Hopefully this changes.
Yeah, and we'll see later in the week to see what Eve thinks will be the way out of Nish. And we'll get him out of the way. Ravi and Nugget talk as Nugget is worrying about everything about Denzel. He gets a little annoyed when Ravi isn't listening to him and is confused why Denise is being so nosy. As Ravi mentions that he's been in the police station. Ravi doesn't let it slip, but Ravi has indeed. The charges have been dropped because of the alibi from Chelsea. So, still holding out on that bit of information. Hasn't told his son that yet. I think it's in this. I suppose we'll get into it a bit later, but I do enjoy the dynamic between these two because you can just kind of tell that Nugget is like, not again. We've just settled down here and you've fucked it again. Like, come on. I've got friends. I've got family. Please stop ruining it for us.
So do you think Ravi will be in jail by Christmas?
No, I don't think so. Honestly, I suppose one thing we could do, I don't know why this is just spurred on, one thing you could do as a bonus video, like 3 months on, who do we think is going to die at Christmas? Because I honestly, It's hard. It's still hard to tell. We'll just have a brief little moment here before we get back to the words.
And then we'll do a full video when this podcast is over.
Indeed. Do we? Has it changed so far? Do we still think it's niche?
Well, unless it's Phil, which is highly unlikely, because Phil is so happy.
Yeah.
It it only really seems to be niche because you're gonna have this abusive angle, and then he's gonna find out that you've been you've been shagging a lesbian. How could you? Because obviously he's gonna mention that she's a lesbian because, well, so he is. I don't know what religion, but she's
I believe they are Sikhs. They yeah. They practice Sikhism, as far as I'm
yeah.
concerned.
So he'll just complain that you've been sleeping with a lesbian because you're a Seekers. And then she'll be like, "Well, you don't give me any love. You don't give me any love there, love. You don't shag me like you used to." And then he'll be like, "How dare you?" He'll slap her down the stairs. And then he'll die at Christmas. He'll get basically the Alfie Moon treatment that he got in 2018, but worse.
Yeah, I think it still has to be niche. It feels like there's not a world where he could exist on the square without Suki. So it'll be interesting to see how it all folds. But I don't think they've been too. They've not really been particularly. I don't. Let's say it's a crime scene. I don't really think they've moved anything. It still looks very much the same as it did in January, when it was February.
Yeah, February.
So yeah, I suppose. And if you want to see more, go potentially watch a bonus video that we may or may not make. There's a big chance that we don't.
I'll remind them after the podcast. Don't worry, guys. I know you're clamoring.
Cheers, Biggie. And at the cafe, speaking of like pretty bad familial bonds, Ricky and Sam waiting to get ready for the baby scan as Ricky keeps reminding Sam that he's gonna be late. But Sam and Honey reminisce about the times before children, and they just, Honey's like, we should catch up sometime. Just us, without the kids, cocktails, have a great time. But Ricky's like, Mum, we've gotta go, man. I don't know that voice.
Fucking late.
We're gonna be late, Mum. And he storms out alone, but Honey's like, listen, alright, all you gotta do is be there for him when he needs you. And Sam's like, me? Nah, it couldn't be me. Fuck that. I'm off. Bye-bye. See ya.
I'm going to Spain to see Ricky Butcher. Fuck you. He's in Spain, isn't he?
He's in Germany.
Oh, well, if she's going to make a detour to Germany then.
And yeah, so Eve comes into the cafe and is then forced by Vinny to start planning a big birthday party for Nish, as it's his first one outside. Vinny wants her to do all the bells and whistles, so she has to organise a birthday party for someone she hates. Lovely. Couldn't imagine a worse thing.
You know what I do? I get a bunch of strippers, make it very uncomfortable.
Oh, God.
Like, obviously, because obviously I'm not saying it's because of the religion, but just because Nish seems like someone who would not enjoy them. Anyways.
Well, Nish doesn't seem like the type who likes surprises.
Yeah, like, because you could, or buy him something he wouldn't like. Like, buy him a chihuahua. He wouldn't like a chihuahua.
Very true.
Just buy him anything that he hates, like Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like anything that he hates.
Indeed. And yeah, Ricky. What will you carry on?
I was going to say, and then he'd be like, fuck's sake, lads, you don't know what I like. And he cries because he's a sadistic man.
He is a narcissist. And
you never get me what you like, lads. Why is that? Why is that a shocky? And he just punches him. Fuck you, it's your fault. That's how I imagine the party goes. Anyways, carry on.
Yeah, Ricky is sulking on a bench as Stacy sees him, and they have a bit of a conversation. He has listened to everything Sam and Honey just said and believes that you might be a rubbish dad. But Stacey kind of goes, hey, listen, right? You're actually thinking about being a dad. You're actually, like, trying to figure out what's good or not. Probably makes you better than 95% of, like, anybody else. Even if he's 12 and absolutely useless.
He did change a nappy last week. He did
He
change
did.
a nappy.
He's learning. He's been reading the baby books.
He has gone to the mummy and daddy daycare.
He doesn't.
Like them.
He doesn't even know he conceived a baby. He just thinks it went there magically.
It's delivered by a stork.
Yeah. And yeah, at Walford East, Eve mentions to Sookie about party planning, but is interrupted when Nish returns back to the table and wants to know everything about Leeds. Eve keeps mentioning some very aggressive innuendos. Your wife knows how to make a woman work hard. And most of the time, we're just full on at it as Sookie looks on in gay panic. Nish settles for celebrating later then, as they were clearly too busy working each other to the bone in Leeds. Man alive. There's nothing I love more than a bit of gay panic. But not gay panic when it's gay panic around your abusive husband. That's not ideal.
I'm looking forward to the birthday party. I'm just looking forward to him to be like a sulky teenager. You guys never care about me. Why do you care about me now? I'm nearly dying. Leave me alone. I wasted half my life in jail because of you guys. You people. You just every wrestling heel person. You people made me suffer in jail. You people.
And Eve departs, saying she'll have to catch Ravi another time as she was here for the catering. Lily Slater is waiting for a scan alone. When they realise she's alone, they start to go, "You're 12 years old, mate. You can't come in here." But not before Stacey and Ricky Jr. just about arrive. But back at Wolf...
I was going to say, it's very weird to me. I understand she's 12. But like she is a pregnant woman. Like you would have to bend the rules. Like I understand she's a minor and she's pregnant.
Yeah.
But she is pregnant.
She still needs the scan.
Yeah. You can't be like, well, your mom's not here and I know you wanted a scan, but
sorry.
for the NHS, go fuck yourself.
Hey, I've been treated fine by the NHS.
Is it the NHS in soaps or is it the HNS?
No, it is the NHS. Not to worry. Oh.
Over here, it's not the NHS, it's just a hospital.
we don't like letters in Ireland.
Or it's actually called the HSE, so we didn't rip you off.
Ah, you bastards. But yeah, carrying on, back at Walford East, as Sookie is asking Nugget about like how he is now he's back, or how they mention a bit about Ravi and like how Ravi is, but Nugget quickly goes, "You guys are supposed to be the grown-ups. You guys are supposed to be the grown-ups. Why don't you actually fucking talk to each other, you knobs? Like, come on." Nugget just wants things to go back to normal and calls them off. Because he kind of went, "Yeah, go talk to him." And then Sookie's like, "Oh God, where's Ravi?" And then Nish is like, "Not now." And then, yeah, Sookie gives Nugget a really nice warm hug. And it's proven that even with just being able to indulge with Eve and fully be herself, she's now a little bit warmer than she used to be. Like, she used to be like Queen Bitch. Like, ice cold.
You're as cold as ice.
Pop a cap, you know. Cold. But yeah, now she's caring for Nugget. She's been open about it. It's lovely to see. All you Sookie and Eve fans are going to love it. Can we call Sookie and Eve Civ?
I was going to say, what is the ship name?
Steve.
Ba-bom.
Yuki?
I'm screwed with this.
Yuki? I don't know. I have no idea.
Let us know in the comments, please.
Yeah, tell us.
All 5 of you, all 36 or 7 of you.
Yeah, all 38 of you.
Oh, 38. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
We're
you
on the
going.
EastEnders number now.
We're on the train.
38th anniversary.
Exactly. As long as we get 1 subscriber a year, we'll be fine. Denise ambushes Ravi in the back room. She's yelling at him to drop Chelsea's alibi, and he needs to drop this. He mentions that the case has been dropped, but Nugget is listening in and realizes that these guys have a lot of secrets for people who seemingly don't get along. Bit of drama. Nugget's been involved in the affair. Let's go. It's gonna come out.
Go.
And at the scan, Ricky does some dad jokes. I believe they said, the baby last time, it used to be a mushroom. It used to be the size of a mushroom. And then he goes, bloody hell, there's not mushroom in there.
I did pop when he said that.
It's like, alright, he's already got the dad jokes. So Ricky Jr., he jokes that he wants a boy, always deadly serious, I don't know. As Stacy gets a call from Shifty Shiv demanding he rings her now. Or she rings him now, sorry. I get confused. I will often mess up the pronouns when talking about people. Not intentionally, of course, just when I'm recapping things. It'll be like, well, bloody Shiv. She rings him as, mate, come on. It's one thing I've realised I struggle with, which has been fun. So, moral is, you're all sods, you EastEnders people. Because I do too many notes, and I get confused. Yeah, not much to add to that. Yeah, cheers. Denise and Ravi continue to argue and finds out, and Nugget finds out some incriminating truths. He drops a plate but scarpers as Ravi and Denise knows that someone has heard them, obviously mentioning the affair. And at the hospital, it turns out it's 2023, and you're the EastEnders writing team. You've done car crashes, you've done deaths, you've done suicides, you've done abusive relationships. But what you haven't done is a gender reveal party. What? Let's go! They're so fucking pointless.
Have you ever seen the gender reveal? There's like gender reveal parties that cause like forest fires. Like Jesus, I'm not making that up.
It's so ridiculous. Does remind me of a time I was at a New Year's Eve party and they gave me like one of the like confetti cannons, and I accidentally set it off like 10 minutes early because I was drunk as fuck, and everybody went hey, and I went, sorry lads. I fucked it up. And everybody's like,
have you ever been to a gender reveal party?
No.
I haven't either.
No, most of the people my age still don't have children. There are the odd few, but I'm not friends with them. But yeah, essentially we get a fun little dynamic where Lily and Ricky are quite happy, like, with this development. You know, it's nice. They're quite happy together to have this kid. They don't realise how much work it's going to be. And it's going to be a big ball ache to deal with. It's going to be awful to watch at the time. But at least they want the child. And the key part is Lily and Stacy are really good together. And they have a really wholesome relationship. Continuing this on. Nish wants to get a little bit frisky with Suki. But she's like, no, we have to unpack. And he says, it can wait. But Vinny interrupts with bad news. Vinny has given these tenants a month to be out. But Nish is not pleased as it means they're going to be rent-free for another month. He patronizes the boy and sends him away, saying he and Suki want some alone time, and then manipulates Suki into some alone time.
What, sex?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Vinny storms into the pub and rants to Eve about this, who's absolutely battering this dartboard. She's launching those darts with some ferocity. She gets upset, and when the phrase alone time gets mentioned, she wants to take revenge.
I'm just imagining that segment. I don't know if you will know the segment. I don't know why I'm imagining her as Triple H in her denim jacket, just kicking down even Suki and Nish's door like with a sledgehammer,
Oh, Jesus.
throwing him out the window.
So the reference is when Triple H broke into someone's home and then battered someone. I don't remember it fully either.
He basically broke into Randy Orton's house, scared Randy Orton's wife, and his real wife, because his real wife didn't want to be part of the segment, I think.
Yeah.
And basically that was the whole thing. He throws Randy Orton out the window. It's a despite the acting, it's like quality EastEnders acting. It is still quite funny.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm?
I was going to say because his fake wife won't shut up screaming.
Yeah, that's more indulgent, more self-indulgent wrestling references. Let's go. Do love a wrestling reference every now and then. Yeah, and it's at the hospital as Nugget arrives to see his best mate, but not before we cut to Kim, who's visiting the window outside of Denzel's bed. Howie rages at her, but Nugget interrupts us as he desperately wants to ask Denzel a question, but they get rid of him. But Nugget's just frustrated and needs to find his dad. Man, parents are annoying sometimes. Mostly because Nugget just wants to ask Denzel about, like, yo, what do you do if your dad had an affair with Denise? And obviously Denzel's gonna be like, I don't know. But he just wants to talk to his mate, but Howie and Kim are like, oh, well, you bloody, your trousers are on too tight. Yeah, well, you're bald. It's like, guys,
You're a kinfluencer. How dare you?
there's an important question. But, I mean, no, obviously they're upset because, Kim nearly killed his kid. And obviously Howie feels bad because he doesn't always feel like he's been there for his kid. But ultimately, they just need to talk to each other and try move past this. Fuck's sake. Welcome to the EastEnders counselling session. Howie and Kim, those are your problems. Please sort them out. Stacy and Lily arrive back home, but as she heads into the kitchen, she's interrupted by Shifty Shiv, who's necking the freshly bought cookie dough ice cream. You bastard. I'm not a cookie dough ice cream kind of guy. What kind of ice cream do you like, Piggy?
Oh, I have to go on the Tesco website. Hold on a second.
Oh, jeez.
There is an ice cream I like, but I have to go on the Tesco website to remember it.
Well, I suppose I'll offer mine. Basically, I never really understood ice cream because it's just cold. It's just cold and it tastes vaguely alright. But then we tried to get some Ben and Jerry's. That's a fucking game changer right there. And I think I enjoyed the caramel sutra. Basically, any of the ones with like that caramel core. Oh, in my belly. We had them over like the really hot summer where every 2 days it was the hottest day of the year so far. And fuck me, was it a good time for it. Have you
found some?
Alright.
So one of them so far is Ben and Jerry's Oh My Banoffee Pie.
Okay.
That is lovely. We have Ben and Jerry's Caramel Chew. I love that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I haven't tried any of the Cadbury ones. I love a good Cornetto, any flavour. Another one, some Ferrero Rocher. ice cream is lovely,
Yeah.
actually, I must say. Magnum Classic, Magnums are good.
Yeah.
Right, let me have a look. There's a lot of ice creams, so
Yeah.
I'm just highlighting my favourite ones. I love a good Fianetta birthday cake. Birthday cake ice cream is good. Yeah, have you ever had birthday cake ice cream?
No.
Oh, you should try it. I had a Magnum double salted caramel ice cream.
Nice.
I love a good feast.
Yeah.
You
All
ever
right.
had the feast ice cream?
No. But I think that's enough ice creams for now.
Ah, damn it! I was just listing off all the ice creams I like.
Yeah, but there's been so many.
Oh yeah, I'll leave you one more. Ben and Jerry's Sunday Hazel, nothing but chocolate.
Oh, one thing I did try, which was absolutely mental, was the Ben and Jerry's. It was like a peanut butter. I think it was like a Reese's peanut butter flavor. But holy shit, the amount of salt quantity in this fucking bit of ice cream is ridiculous. I'm just like, oh god,
Also,
it's so salty, Jesus.
also to bring it back to Joe Biden, where he talks about the black and tans, Ben and Jerry's. Fun fact: Ben and Jerry's. It was either in England or Ireland. I think it was Ireland. They released a flavor called Ben and Jerry's Black and Tan, and I had to be removed off shelves because of
I
the group. So yeah,
do
there was
enjoy
one.
I do enjoy Ben and Jerry's. They do like to take the piss.
Ben and Jerry's is lovely ice cream. Expensive, but it is worth it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you tried? Are you a big fan of Freezy Pops? Do you know the pops they basically suck on and they're hard?
Oh. No,
You know
they're
what I'm on
fine.
about.
They're fine.
Is there any other ice cream that is nice?
Wait, sorry, why are we doing this now? It's only just become spring. We do this in the summer.
I start early. I'm a fat person.
Oh, all right, come on, let's carry on.
Oh, I wanted to talk about ice cream
No,
for another
no,
20
no.
minutes.
Come on.
Fuck EastEnders.
The podcast is long enough.
Who wants to listen to us talk about EastEnders? Don't want to listen to us talk about.
But yeah, before, obviously it cuts to Peggy's, where Chelsea, Sam, and Honey are having a catch up. Ricky comes in ecstatic about the baby and says he'll do anything to support his baby, but also that he doesn't need Sam and never will because he's got people behind him. He's being a bit abrasive for someone who's 12 years old and about to have a child. I don't need you, Mum. You need all the help you can get, motherfucker. Like, you better be fully involved in this child's birth. Because, like, if you're not, you better apologize to your mum. You little rat. Sorry, I don't know, I just can't deal this Sam Mitchell slander. Like, I don't need your mum. Yeah, you do, you dickhead. Come on. Just swallow your pride. Take it back. But then we get to Shiv threatening Stacy as, like, he puts his hand on her throat. But the lesbian Rottweiler bursts on in and he throws him up against the wall. She's furious. Obviously, she's rattled by the Nish and Suki sex.
How is she so? How is she so strong?
I mean, I don't think Shiv's that threatening, really. I could bat a
Down the
Shiv.
ice cream.
Yeah, he's got milk gut. Just punch him in the stomach. Punch him in the stomach. Slap on his head. He's got bloody ice cream headache.
Oh, I don't like an ice cream headache.
Walk
Makes
up.
me want to have a nap.
Yeah, go towards him. What's up, slaphead? Ah, brain freeze. Ah, done. Easy.
Do you like brain freezes?
Who does?
Mentalists.
Indeed. And Nugget arrives at Walford East as Ravi is throwing shit around. He quickly grabs Ravi's phone and figures out his PIN and checks through the messages to Denise, as he finally realizes that Ravi and Denise had an affair. That's not the Duff Duff. Surprisingly.
Should have been.
Probably deserved it. I want Nugget to get his own Duff Duff. He's been good this week. As Eve threatens Shiv and pushes him back, but he leaves in a huff, but not before demanding all of his money by tomorrow. And crumples up the picture of the baby scan as well. As Stacy has 24 hours to find $3,000, as both wives cry separately. Eve pulls her eyes out on the stairs, and Stacy tries to straighten out the crumpled picture of the baby scan, but just sobs.
She shouldn't have got duffed off. It should have been Eve.
Yeah, well, nah, my boy Nugget. He deserved it.
Yeah, but between the two ladies.
Yeah, but Stacy's iconic.
Yeah, but not compared to Eve. I prefer a strong lesbian.
Eve should be. Hopefully, if Eve stays long enough, and they don't decide to kill her off just when her and Sookie are happy, because that's what they do to lesbians in soap. Hopefully things go well. She could easily be there for a long time if she wants to be. Great character.
Doesn't she have a contract? Doesn't she have a contract where she can't be killed?
No, that was just a rumor, unfortunately.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if she went, I'm not fucking dying. You can't always do this to lesbians. Because who died? Ben Mitchell's ex, Paul, he died just as they were happy, just as Ben was fully happy coming out as gay. He died. And, well, to be fair, they haven't really had the best lesbian relationships. Sookie and Eve's probably the best one so far. I might be forgetting one, but I honestly don't think so.
Barry and the Cliff.
Just loves them rocks. I suppose I think the Mondays episode was a pretty good episode because it had a lot of tension. Because at all points you slowly see Nugget kind of being like, wait, hold on. Ravi and Denise. And then he starts slowly piecing it together. And we get to see how like a teenager's going to deal with like this big weight on his shoulders. So I'd give Monday's episode, that's pretty good. It's a pretty fun episode. Alright. Clappy, clappy, clappy. There we are. We kick off episode 2 as Eve is furiously walking through the square. She bumps into Sookie, and Sookie mentions that she's asked Nish for some time with Eve today, but Eve is still bitter about their alone time. Eve asks if he forced her, but Sookie says, pretty emotionally, not here. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough.
So he did.
Well, I think it's a bit of a grey area. Because I think Sookie is at least somewhat tries to be compliant, because otherwise Nish will start to figure out that something's going wrong. So I think at like a technical level, she probably consented, but also just really doesn't want it at all.
Have you ever seen American Psycho?
I've seen bits. I haven't watched the whole movie. I know it's blasphemy, but...
Do you know the scene where Patrick Bateman is shagging someone, and he looks in the mirror and he flexes his arms?
Yes.
That's what I think Nish does in the bedroom.
No, Nish doesn't even like to watch his wife. He just starts looking at himself like, oh bloody hell, the best.
Look at me go.
The best shagger I know, me. Because I know what I can do. No one shags as good as me. Just starts like flexing, just.
He starts singing Batista's theme, just, I walk for miles inside this pit of danger. There's the pyro and everything while having intercourse.
Yeah, I suppose obviously we joke about this, but it's still a pretty serious thing because ultimately Suki doesn't want to alert Nish that anything's wrong and desperately wants to find a way out. But as she'll mention sooner, she wants to do it her own way because it's pretty insufferable being tied to Nish and his mood swings and his jealousy and the potential danger that he could possess. Oh, now to take away from the serious part and go straight into the gender reveal. As Lily is baking a cake and barely knows how, and they have a funny conversation about colours. Jean talks about how colours are just colours, like how she dressed Stacy in blue when she was little, and that didn't give her a mustache.
How dare EastEnders gone woke? Blue is for boys, pink is for girls. EastEnders gone woke.
Lily tells them to leave as she puts it in the food colouring, but Stacy's struggling over Shiv's demands. When Jean asks her about it, Stacy lies and says she's got a good payment plan with Shiv and doesn't let Jean in on how bad it's going. Oh, Stacy, you stubborn knobhead.
How much does Jean have upstairs in the room?
I don't know, but I'd imagine Kat gave her a fair amount.
Because she could have paid off the debt.
Yeah, but obviously, basically, the issue with Jean's money is that she knows that Stacy wouldn't have wanted Kat's money, and it's a bit of a weird grey area. Like, Stacy's too stubborn to accept it, essentially. I don't think Jean would have been able to pay for it though. I feel like Kat probably gave her like a couple £100, not $3,000. But yeah, Stacy gets herself into more issues. But in the shop, Eve talks to Suki about, how she can refuse. There are ways to get out of sex without drawing suspicion. And jokes like, lesbians have been doing it for years. Just say you're tired. Just say you haven't shaved your legs. Just funny little scene. Eve gets very jealous, and they try to get over Nish being there. Eve wishes that they could be the couple who holds hands, and when they were out in Leeds, she leant over and just brushed her hair, and Suki wants this too, but reminds her that she still has a husband. Eve tells us she loves her, but Suki still mentions Nish, so it's not the most positive signs. It is nice for Eve to say she loves Suki though. That's all of the SHIV fans are gonna be buzzing over that.
Yeah. I've not much to add.
Nugget gets annoyed over Ravi's constant nonsense and wants to talk to him about the affair, but doesn't manage to get the words in. He's annoyed because he feels like every single time they get settled, Ravi messes things up. And he storms off as Chelsea arrives, and she says that they're having a homecoming party for Denzel that Kim's organised. Oh, like I said, I like the complexity. Nugget wants to trust Ravi. He wants to trust his dad, but every single time they've been together, Ravi's done something dumb. He's gotten himself into a bad situation, and then Nugget has to deal with it. Probably has to move around and find a new group of friends and get settled again. I like it. Yeah. Chelsea and Ravi talk about Nugget and things, and she offers to talk to Nugget about it. They are all over each other in the kitchen as Nugget looks on and sees this and is just absolutely fuming about it. Because, yeah, they don't know that he knows. Eve exits the shop and is bombarded by both Vinny and Nish. Nish wants to renegotiate terms with the client at the chicken shops, and again says meeting 4:30 at the call centre. Nish then takes a pick at Jack and the police force. And Jack then bends Sam's ear over the extra aggro that's been caused by the rift between Sam and Ricky. All Jack wants them to sort it out, but Honey realizes that Sam didn't actually know about the gender reveal party, but Sam kind of rejects a phone call and looks kind of sad. Can we stop? Can we stop yelling at Sam, please, everyone? I know she's leaving and it's all to set up her, like, having a good reason to leave. But fuck me, can you just give her a bit of time? Just let her be, please. Freddie talks to Vinny as he's on his dod. Freddie tells Vinny he needs to listen to his heart because his head isn't helping him. And yeah, Vinny's upset because his dad wants him to learn the business, but also just doesn't want him involved at all. Yeah, bloody hell. But if they take Vinny this way, and how they treat him in the next couple episodes, hopefully he's not just a waste of space. Because he is right now. All he's doing is he's that little bitch. He's the child who's been babied all his life and wants to stand up for himself, but ultimately doesn't have the grasp or the perspective to actually do anything with it. So hopefully they actually build him up well. There's positive signs. What do you reckon? Is this a start of something good for Vinny? Is he actually gonna be cool? No. Is he just gonna get back on his ass again and be shit?
Yeah, he pretty much is just gonna be shit.
Yeah, well, I tried to build it. Tried to build it up. Harvey sees Jean bundling up some cash and desperately wants to know where she got it from. Jean says, yeah, it's robbed a bank, it's my new Tuesday thing. But ultimately, she just kind of goes, yeah, I did that. It was the whole thing with Kat and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I can't be bothered to explain it again. If you want to know what happened, watch the other episodes of Watching Walford. We're on episode 15. And on Spotify.
On episode 16, aren't we? Or 15?
No, it's 15.
Alright, sorry. Sorry, lads. Sorry.
And Sam gets info about the gender reveal party. But Howie and Denzel arrive back home at the party as he looks pretty badly beaten up. Howie is at Kim's throat, but ultimately everyone's happy to see Denzel back. Especially Nugget, who arrives fashionably late. They're doing a good job of like allowing Nugget to walk in funny situations. First, when he walks in with a baby, like he's just scored the winning goal at like the 90th minute, just like, hey, it's me. But then they're talking about chicken, and he goes, did somebody say chicken? And then Denzel goes, Nugget. Just giving him fun entrances. Like a tip for all filmmakers, it's perfectly fine for someone to enter the shot in a funny way. It can be a bit of comedy that is just subtle, but you don't really need it to be funny. It's like how in most Edgar Wright films, so most people know like the Cornetto trilogy, like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End. Whenever there's a phone call, it's usually someone's hand just like thrusting the phone in. Like, oh, phone call, boom. You know, you can use these moments for a bit of comedy. Sorry, that was the intermediate studies student in me coming out. I'll settle him back down.
Yeah, I agree. I was just letting you have your little rant.
I always got to. But we go to the meeting with Arjun. The Panesars are met with a frosty reception as he's done all of the research on the family as they try to awkwardly proceed further. Eve, Suki, and interestingly Vinny strong-arm Arjun into 15% of everything they launder, despite Nish trying to degrade Suki into making drinks. And yeah, it seems like Arjun is stuck in a corner as lovely narcissist Nish weakly says, "Yeah, we're a team." Narcissist in shambles. Ah, it was lovely to see Nish get put on his ass. Like,
I think it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was nice scene to see all of the people step up. Obviously, Eve stepped up, Suki stepped up, and interestingly, Vinny. Do you think he's going to step up and be a good character in the comment section? I kind of feel like he'll leave in about a year once Nish dies or something, because he's still probably going to die at Christmas. And Stacy asks Kat for help and opens up about how awful Shiv has been. Phil pokes in, but Stacy breaks down as Kat welcomes her in and says she'll sort the money, as Phil agrees to sort out Shiv. I'm ready for Phil to batter him.
Me too.
Shiv's gonna surprisingly end up dead, but it's not Phil who killed him, it's somebody else. Nah, just kidding. Shiv's done after this week. Not an important character enough. And
they might bring him back.
Nah, there's no reason to.
Yeah, there is. The Shifty Shiv maniacs really care about him. The Shivers, they're called.
The Shivers. Back at the Brannings, they all do general chatter. Jack offers a couch at his house for Nugget if his dad ever gets waylaid. Howie moans at Kim for the party, and Nugget can't stop thinking about Denise's affair. Nugget gets upset and storms out. And the Panasar's deal finishes as Nish slams the door and is furious. He's so fuming that everybody got involved, and Vinny reminds his dad that, hey, you've only been out for 5 minutes. You haven't done anything. And, you know, it's like, oh, he's actually standing up to his dad. He is going to do something. Probably not. And the scene continues as Nish stares down Suki and reminds her that he isn't done talking. But to juxtapose this, the seriousness for the comedy, as the gender reveal starts as everyone arrives, even Sam arrives with a big gift. She gets made a fool out of, like, in front of everyone, and Jack is upset at Sam's initial comment, you know, Ricky says that Sam said, I'd rather be dancing on a yacht or whatever. But then also seems a bit upset when everybody's like, stop laughing at her. She's trying. Said I'll take none of the Sam Mitchell slander. As Nish is shouting at Suki, but Eve keeps interjecting on Suki's side. He provokes Eve as she desperately wants to fight for Suki. And Nish wants her out and says, if you ever find a woman crazy enough to love you, as Eve is like, oh, really, huh? Imagine if anybody ever did that, but desperately wants to be like, well, I don't know, I was going to say, I don't know, I'll shag your wife better next time or some shit like that, I don't know. It was a fun little argument. Still proves that Nish is a massive narcissist and loves himself.
Yeah.
The gender reveal temporarily gets interrupted as Stacy has to quickly leave, as we catch up with a conflicted Nugget in McClunky's. Chelsea tells him how much she and Ravi work and the constant issues between her and Denise when it comes to men. She tries to get him to open up, but he leaves with conviction. As Stacy meets with Shiv in the Arches, with the money, he tries to provoke her. But she misses the baby reveal, and it's revealed that Lily and Ricky will be having a girl. Another Slater lady on the square. Jesus Christ.
No, you're wrong.
What?
It was green, not pink. It was green.
Sorry.
So they're having Shrek.
They're having a clownfish.
What was you gonna? Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, they're having a woman, but yeah, you're wrong at the same time because it was green. I'll have you know, it was green. All right, it was green.
I wonder what nonsense they'll call the child. So I feel like the child will be called something stupid because it's two 12-year-olds deciding.
Nutella.
I don't know.
Here, Nutella. No,
I
here,
imagine
Nutella.
someone. When research, they call her something wanky, like patience, or just something really trashy, like uh.
Jasmine.
It's not a trashy name.
Jason. What a trashy name.
But yeah, Slater lady on the square.
You know what's funny? By the
Mm.
time that baby's 5, he still won't be able to drink.
Sam Mitchell said the exact same thing.
Yeah, I know. I was stealing from her. Thought you wouldn't notice, but it is funny.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
He'll be what, 17 when the child is
He's not even
5?
been through puberty yet.
That's
Well,
true.
he seemingly has because he's managed to have a child, but you know. Jesus. Like, imagine him trying to raise a kid as he's, like, trying to avoid the acne. When he starts sweating and and his sweat just smells of weed. It's... poor parents. They're fucked. As is the child. And yeah, Stacy's big plan was for Phil to arrive with his best mate Batty, as he just stands there with a baseball bat, looking threatening towards Shiv, as Stacy takes back control and like kind of demeans Shiv for being a massive creep. And yeah, Stacy thanks Phil, and I was expecting Phil to be like, "All right, well, you pay us back now," but nah, you were just like, "Sound, yeah." I terrified Shifty Shiv.
Yeah, I loved this scene so much. Because he's just standing there with a bat. Like, what are you going to do now, huh, Shiv? What are you going to do now?
I don't listen to instructions, Shiv.
I'm Phil Mitchell, you listen to me.
But yeah, it was a fun scene. Like I said, it's nice. I never expected there to be so much crossover between the Slaters and the Mitchells. But obviously, Phil and Kat, pretty good. Do like them. I do hope they stick together. I don't want Alfie and Kat to get back together.
I do love whenever Alfie is with, Alfie is near Cat and Phil. Phil just degrades Alfie. We're here with this loser. Oh my god.
When are you gonna do something with your life, you little bitch?
Yeah, exactly. And Alfie's like, I'll sell feet pics then, alright? Leave me alone.
And back in the shop, Suki and Eve are talking, and Suki is upset at Eve for getting involved. But Eve is desperate to know that if Nish wasn't here, would there be a chance for us? Suki wished he wasn't there and hopes that it was easier for Eve, but Suki has to do it her way. Hello, Joey. That's my dog, by the way. When asked if they would make it, Suki reminds her that they will get through this, and Suki finally tells Eve that she loves her. Yeah, it's a big victory time. The gays rejoice.
Woo! Let's go! Let's fucking go!
And yeah, this gives Eve like a big amount of confidence. Like she walks out like she's just shit out gold. Like I'm fucking amazing. There's only one person that can be capable of Suki's love. Me. It's me. But yeah, finally they say they love each other. It's lovely to see. And yeah. But Stacia returns home and feels proud of herself, and Lily tells her that they're having a girl. It's lovely and wholesome. They hug and rejoice. It's great, great, great stuff. And at the Vic, Ravi's met with Chelsea and she asks him what he's done, which startles him, but she says that she sorted it with Nugget. And speaking of Nugget, he's busy confiding in Denzel about what to do. He's worried about the fact that they've just settled down, and if Denise and Jack knew, it would ruin everything. He thinks Denzel knows what was in the text, but he lets it slip that Denise and Ravi have been having an affair.
No.
But likewise again, this is not the Duff Duff. As Nish arrives in the pub, as does Jack, and Eve sees an opportunity to become a police informant in a way to deliver Nish Panesar's head on a plate. Eve plans to put Nish back inside. Duff Duff. Man, Eve's really gonna... I don't know how Sookie and Eve come out of this, like, happy. Because Eve's just gonna do something dumb out of jealousy, and, like, maybe she goes back inside, or... Like, I feel like it's not gonna end happy. What do you reckon, Piggy?
I'd love to see the lesbos together.
Lesbos is an endearing term, by the way. It's not.
Yeah, it's a lovely term that I use. I'd love to see them together. Scissor me, mummy, as they would say. That's an acclaimed reference. I don't know if they'll get together. Not yet. I feel like this is something that will boil over, where Eve just wants to shag her, and then Ducky's like, "No, leave it, and then she's like, "Oh my god, I just want to shag you. I just want to love you," and then she's like, "Just let me live my life with Nish, where I can slowly go into a depression and think about how life was better when he was in prison." Then he'd be like, "But I love you." It's just going to be like that for another 6 months until Christmas.
Yeah, for sure. I think they get together in the aftermath of Christmas. Unfortunately, yeah, so we're gonna have to wait the rest of the year. But yeah, that was the 11th of the 4th, 2023, and let's get into the next and third episode. Episode 3 kicks off with Eve pressuring Jack about her offer to become an informant. Jack questions why she would want to get rid of the Panesars so bad, and he realizes that she'll need some protection, but wants the evidence first. He wants to make sure that they're in the clear if it comes back to them. I like how initially Jack was like, "Oh yeah, Ravi. Oh, I want to get rid of Ravi," and then she's like, "Nah, Nish." Probably easier, definitely easier to get Nish in jail than Ravi.
Yeah.
And Sam visits Phil to talk about Peggy's. She kind of wants a pat on the back because Peggy's is actually doing really well, but mentions Don and this new business opportunity. Phil doesn't listen to her and essentially just tosses her out like, "I don't care. Leave me alone. You're useless." And it's like, stop, Shift, stop allowing Sam Mitchell to catch strays. Let her be good. And Amy visits Denzel in the cafe and is stressed out for being late. He starts asking questions about, like, are things okay with you? Are you being okay? And kind of Nugget sees us go down and is like, "Stop being shady, man." Like, I get that that Denise and Ravi had an affair, but stop floating it. Just save her the pain of knowing. He says he didn't mention it, but Nugget wants Denzel to avoid all misery by not telling her. And like I said, for the first time this week, Nugget's actually got some complexity to him. Lovely stuff. He's not just a prick. He's not just a teenage prick. Good stuff, EastEnders.
Oh.
Vinny, Eve, and Sookie are chatting at the house, as Eve has made a fan of Vinny. Her and Eve hug and talk about the day before, and Nish has been burnt and feels ridiculed, but Eve leaves, but not before saying, "Not much longer." And before Sookie can figure out what she actually means, Vinny returns with the keys. Yeah, she's kind of like, "Wait, what the fuck did you just say to me? Not much longer? What are you planning, you dickhead? Don't do anything dumb." Kim asks if Howie is going to come with her to her formal interview with the police, but not before Denzel walks in and goes to them, "Oi, I'm the one who nearly died here. Stop fucking arguing. Please." But they don't really listen to him, so.
Well, Kim does, kind of.
Well, yeah, but Howie doesn't. Who is the
Howie,
one
you're
that,
just being a dick.
like, obviously it's a big deal. She nearly killed his son, but he's also not dead. So, and he wants you to move on. So just fucking move on.
Sorry.
Sam bursts into Jack's house and tells him about the business proposal. A hotel in Spain wants her as the manager. Jack reminds her how important it is that they think about Ricky. He isn't pleased and thinks she's trying to pawn off the responsibility to him, and she once again gets thrown out. Honey looks on wanting news, but Sam just looks dejected. It's the second time she's just been like, "Fuck off." And she's like, "Yeah, but it's an important thing I gotta tell you." "No, fuck off." Like, come on. Eve sneaks into the call center and tries to get into the computer. On the final attempt, she gets in, but not before being spooked by some footsteps. Right, Piggy, you are a technological expert.
Okay.
Would you ever have a password of, like, let's say password, it would just be Ash and Piggy.
No. Is that Nish's password? Chucky, or not Chucky and Nish?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like, you're doing illegal shit on there, man. Have some security system in place, for Christ's sake.
I can't get over that.
You fucking idiot. And Kathy jokes about those with Stacy in the cafe as Eve continues to dish the dirt on Nish. She finds out how much money he's making and tries to print it out, but is interrupted by the very same man. Sam is drinking with Honey in the Vic and is trying to figure out what the right decision is. They talk about what ifs and whether it's the right thing to do. Sam just thinks she's completely useless on all the fronts that matter. To Phil, to Jack, and to Ricky. But Honey almost talks her into it, saying, like, as long as you involve Ricky, this could be a good thing for everyone. So you can bring in more money for the kid, and you can be there, like, when you need to. So, yeah, good on you, Honey. Actually being good to Sam. They've never been friends before, but now they are. Like, just in last week, they've decided that they're actually sound. And Nish explains the paper jam to Eve, but wants to talk through yesterday's events. He mentions that Vinny impressed him by standing up for himself, and, maybe he should get some classes and perhaps, like, study something, like, more, like maybe law or something, to see what he's actually made out of. And the printer finally prints, but Eve desperately snatches it away. He demands to know what it is, but Eve says it would ruin everything if he found out, and quickly reveals that it's his birthday surprise. He agrees to keep it a secret. I don't know if this was a smooth recovery from Eve or not. I don't know whether it was really smart to do, or she's just being a reckless, jealous idiot. What do you reckon?
Oh, a reckless idiot in love.
Yeah. So, like, why do you... I get that you can't steal the laptop, but just, like, share the file or something. Like, airdrop it to your phone or something. Don't just print it out in their printer. Like, hasn't the call center got cameras?
Yeah.
Idiot.
But that's EastEnders, it's not going to work.
Yeah, very true.
Camera.
And Sam reveals to Stacey that she's moving back to Spain, as Stacey is furious that she's suddenly changed her mind. Jack interrupts Sam, telling Ricky about her going back to Spain, and Ricky says there's nothing to chat about and that he doesn't care. Stop! Sam's trying, man. It's just another. Just please. Howie follows Denzel into the Minute Mart and is just so angry. And, like, he's just so upset. But he gets through the thought when Howie says, like, basically, Denzel's struggling to figure out whether he should actually tell Amy about the affair or not. But Howie kind of goes, hey, ignorance is bliss, but it also hurts so much when it actually comes out. And yeah, Amy is at McClunky's waiting for him, so will he tell her? Eve fills in Stacey about her planning to stitch up Nish and send him back inside. Stacey is like, oi, you fucking idiot. What are you doing? What are you gonna do, like run away? He could just get you, like, stricken off. He could just, like, you're telling me a guy with connections on the outside couldn't just get you fucking murdered. So yeah, essentially saying, oi, like, get real. Like, this could put all of us in danger. But Eva's like, nah, it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. It's like, no, it won't. Amy and Denzel meet up at the home, but she has been nervous that something is up, and that he wants to end things. He ominously talks about whether she'd want to know something so bad, or know nothing at all. He opens up and says it's about Denise and Ravi, and that they've been cheating, as Amy does not know what to believe. Oof. Yeah, this is a pretty... Honestly, I probably wouldn't have told Amy if I was... I don't know if I would have. It's just, she's now become such a nervous wreck. Like, she doesn't know what to believe. And yeah, Stacey just reads through the bills and sobs. But Eve is in the Albert reading through the forms as Sookie arrives back and questions if he could, why can I do the VAT? And he says that's how it works. He then chases up the hotel room invoices, but he learns that the booking was just for one room, meaning Sookie and Eve stayed in the same room. How heteronormative do you reckon this is? Like, do you think he would ever believe that Sookie and Eve are actually pumping?
No.
Or do the gays just not exist?
The gays don't exist. In my opinion, in his eyes.
Like, I kind of agree. I feel like he just wouldn't really understand. He wasn't disgusted when he's like, if any woman ever gets mad enough to marry you. He accepted it then. But I don't know if he's figuring out if they are together or not. But obviously he will eventually. But yeah, it's a bit scary. Anyways.
Yeah.
Clappy, clappy. The fourth and final episode commences as Sookie helps Finney with the tenants, as Nish follows her down like a hawk. Eve seems preoccupied with being an informant, as Amy is sitting in the middle of the square with the weight of the world on her shoulders. Nish confronts Sookie about the hotel rooms. He says, yeah, they only just wanted a courtesy call, but ends up revealing that they'd only booked one room. She pawns him off by saying it was a fairly low-brow place, but he is still, he's sniffing something. Pepperoni? Salami? Something's up. He's on the chase. In the cafe, Zach asks for a bit of Wit's time as he's gotten as he's got on like a big to-do list for Sam. Zach nearly bumps into Amy, but she's struggling a lot and cannot stop thinking about the affair, but she desperately needs to tell the secret. Yeah, what do you say? Do you reckon it was a good idea to tell Amy about the affair or not, from Denzel's perspective?
It was a horrible idea to tell Amy.
Yeah, I mean, look at her. She's so anxious now. Like, Jesus Christ. And yeah, carrying on, Nish said that he found it embarrassing that his wife wasn't found because they only booked one room in Eve's name. And he started getting all jealous and jumping to conclusions over this misunderstanding. Jesus. And he says, let's bring it all out into the open. But Suki says she isn't going to explain anything. She's fighting back. At Stacy's BAP, she's furious about the retailers and the price of everything going up. She gets upset and steals the ball away from Alfie and a bunch of the other, store holders. But Honey reminds her that pitch fees hasn't actually been paid yet, so, She's like, I don't know if you knew, and Stacy's like, mate, I knew. I'm just, Jesus Christ. Honey asks Sam whether she's spoken to Ricky yet, and is upset at how they've treated her. Honey looks on at Jack disapprovingly, as Suki bursts into the Slater's house and tells Eve, we need to tell Nish everything. And some naive people be like, oh my god, the affair's gotta be out. Yeah, nice try, bucko. Sit back, watch some more EastEnders. It's not as easy as that. And Honey is telling Jack that she wants to do a send-off for Sam, but Jack isn't fully committed. And Amy appears, but when Denise gets mentioned, she just gets annoyed and rushes off. Nish builds the case against Eve and Suki about the room, and is very confused about how this happens. But Eve lies and says she saw an old flame in Leeds, and that Suki was staying in the room booked for Eve. And Suki asked, is this worth it, you're dishing out, Eve's private life just because you got jealous. And yeah, Eve kind of shrugs this off oh, thank God that was close, but Suki's like, mate, this is not done yet. There's so much more to do. I still didn't seem to... I still don't know if he thought they were gay or not. This is hard to read.
Just look at him.
I can't read. In the cafe, Stacey's reminiscing about their old holidays, but Freddie mentions that he's made another £10 from his feet. Or as Danny Dyer would call him, his trotters. He tells her about the OnlyFans app and makes her truly consider it, even if there are creeps. But Amy's panicking in her room as Denise comes in. Amy's frosty with Denise, but promises that she's fine, but she rings the phone and panics. Honey heads to Phil's house and wants him to take Sam seriously. He asks why she didn't tell him, but she reminds him that Sam tried. Then Honey takes the piss out of Phil. Oh, Phil, do you have something better to do? Washing your hair, maybe? Probably line of the week.
Sorry.
Probably. But yeah, carrying this forward, Suki confronts Nish and wants an apology for how he carried himself and for his jealousy. She asks if he might be happier if it weren't for me and you.
Oh, sorry.
He says, how can you say that? But she replies, at least you wouldn't be tormenting yourself. I like this, Suki actually floating the idea of a divorce. About damn time. But yeah, it's probably not done yet. It's still going to take the next 8 months. At least. Stacey arrives back at the van and Linda notices her looking at the OnlyFans app. She gets a little bit...
No, it's not OnlyFans.
Secret cam.
I googled it and it's not a real website.
Yeah, of course it's not.
Well, I thought it was, alright. So I had to Google it just to make sure.
Then you signed up and started. Yeah. Oh, Stacey's back, sir. Wow.
Oh, what do you think is her name on it?
Uh, I put the Slater in dyslexic. I don't fucking know. Some shit like that.
Did you say I put the Slater into dyslexic?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Not gonna question it.
Yeah, that's a dyslexic joke for some of you out there.
Oh, I don't know what I think she'd call it. She'd call it something stupid, I know that much.
Hmm.
Hi, I'm Stacey Slater, and welcome back to Jackass.
Exactly.
Huh?
But yeah, this conversation just kind of goes. Linda mentions how, she was once like a page 3 girl. It's actually quite empowering. How do you deal with people seeing you differently and they just go, yeah, but they're not looking at you, they're looking at the picture. So yeah, cool stuff. I'd usually expect Linda to be a bit more uppity about this kind of stuff. It feels like something she'd be like, oh, you're gross, Jesus Christ. But Zach is stressed out at the bar as Amy comes in and is equally as stressed. She wants to see Chelsea but pulls out a bottle of vodka until Zach comes in. Sam arrives as well at her surprise send-off and she's amazed that Phil made the effort, but it was all Honey's idea. Zach brings Amy right back home and when Denise scolds her for saying no more secrets, Amy scoffs and storms off. How long till someone tells it, till the affair comes out?
I don't know.
I'd honestly say like maybe even next week.
The affair, I can spoil it.
Nah, just leave it.
Alright. Don't grind to me then.
Wait, we'll see next week if it happens. I don't know. I've seen that seemingly next week's a bit more about Lola than not. Actually, no, that's 2 weeks' time. No idea. Nish mentions to Suki how no more me and you would kill him, and he starts trying to apologize and says sorry, but he loves her so much it makes him do these things. Once again, a lot of emotional blackmail from Nish. I don't do it because I hate you. I do it because I just love you so much. Like, oh fuck, stop gaslighting her, please. Oh. And yeah, Ricky checks in on Amy and they talk about mums. Obviously Amy's mum is Roxy Mitchell, who is dead. The actress keeps saying that she wants to come back, which honestly, please, bring back Roxy. Imagine the amount of fun. Like, they killed off way too many Mitchells that it's just Phil at this point. Like, I'd say, they brought back Den. Who else died and came back? They brought back Kathy. You could bring back Roxy Mitchell. What do you reckon? Do you reckon they should bring her back?
Yeah, they should.
Obviously,
I
you can't do it.
100% agree.
Obviously, you can't do it to everyone. Well, I brought back Fat Boy sound. Who cares? But Roxy Mitchell would be pretty explosive. She was a great actress, and like they always gave her some fun storylines. So, yeah. Where are we at? Okay, and yeah, moral is Amy kind of goes, listen, right, I would do anything to be able to yell at my mum, but then goes like, hey, Sam is still your mum. She's not dead. Like, for Christ's sake, once she goes, she's gone. So you better fucking apologize to her. As Stacey is preparing for a debut on Secret Cam. Jesus Christ. But in probably the best scenes of the week, Sam prepares to leave, and Zach shows up and thanks her for everything. They share a big hug and say that they're both gonna miss each other. As Ricky Jr. shows up and wants to call every single day, and Ricky finally tells her that he loves her. She says that she's lucky to have Ricky Jr. here as she departs out of Walford in a black cab. And yeah, fortunately, she's back later in the year. She's not going anywhere. She's just not going to be on the screens for a little bit. So bye-bye for now, Sam Mitchell, but it'll be fun to see you return. Suki and Eve hug, and they share about how Eve shares about how she plans to get Nish locked up again and act as informant. Suki is absolutely appalled and is like, burn this or we're done. Like, that's so stupid. Why would you even try do this? You fucking idiot. But in the final scenes of the week, Stacey undoes her silk gown and takes some picture of her baps in some lingerie. Yeah, Sam leaving should have been the duff, not bloody Stacey getting a kit off.
I agree. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Yeah, I think they gave the wrong ending out this week.
To be fair, they got the wrong ending on every single episode of this week. It's like, oh, it should have been Nugget. No. Oh, it should have been Eve. No. Sound. Good job, guys. Just as a brief before we get into the final thoughts part of the show. I think this week was pretty good. Just as a basis. I thought it was pretty strong. And feels like we're slightly moving forward. Which is a good sign. But and that was Watching Walford, episode 15. The 15th week of 2023. Piggy, how did you find the week of episodes?
Except for Joe Biden ruining Thursday's episode, I found it pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a pretty explosive week. Next week is going to be even explosiver. If I read it correctly, I might be wrong, but I think I know what next week is about. So
nice.
Hopefully,
stay tuned.
Hopefully, about the. So yeah. So let's just.
I was going to say, yeah, let's just go straight into the awards section. What award should we start with this week, Piggy?
Steve Blackman.
Steve Blackman, who is the most wooden character of the week? Phil Mitchell's bat.
What? Phil Mitchell?
No, Phil Mitchell's bat.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, that is our most wooden character.
Yeah. To be fair, I'd rather this one than saying Peach's ashes.
Like, right.
Jesus
Hold
Christ.
Hold on here.
I'm holding on.
Yeah, you keep holding on, alright, buddy, because these are wild accusations you're spreading. I didn't know. Is there any video proof that I said it was Peach's ashes?
Yes, it's both on YouTube and Spotify.
Is there any proof, though? Did the words come out of my mouth? Is there video proof? Not audio proof. Because you can AI people's voices. So you could have just got an AI of my voice.
I'm not wasting my time on that, mate.
Yeah, you are.
Alright. What's your most underrated character this week?
We gotta give it to Sam.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if there's anybody else who even comes close. You know what? You can have Sam. I'm going to go for Vinny because he actually stepped up for the first time in his character's history, where he's actually stood up for himself and not just been Mummy's little boy. So kudos to Vinny. Hopefully, he actually rises to the occasion because Kirat was good. I liked Kirat. He was a good character. I like Ravi. He's a fun character. Obviously, Jags is dead. Ash is gone. He's the only other Panasar that is there and doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. Wants to stick around. He needs to like have a character lift. So yeah, hopefully that'll continue. And finally, who needs slapping down? Piggy?
Who needs... You know what? Howie.
Alright. Do you want to elaborate?
Just because of how he treated Kim.
Yeah, true. I mean, I still find it funny. He's like, oh, I'm not leaving. I'm still sleeping here. It's not your house, Howie. Who needs slapping down? It would be easy to say Shifty Shiv, but that's not very fun. I'm gonna say Slatey. I'm gonna say Stacey needs slapping down because it's taken her so long to be open about the current money issues, and now she's not even like getting more help when she desperately needs it. Now she's starting an OnlyFans. I mean, secret cam. It's like you have a big family, like how. I get that most of the Slaters don't actually have jobs. But why does it seem like the burden's only on Stacey? Why does it seem like Eve doesn't help out with the bills? Why does it seem like Harvey doesn't help out with the bills? Like, I get Alfie. Alfie's skint as fuck. But he does technically have a job at the pub. So, lads, I get that the cost of living crisis is a storyline that they want to tackle. But just fucking deal with it as a family. Not just Stacey's, like, not just her alone. Bloody hell, that was a passionate one right there. Got a bit into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the award section for the week. And we thank you for watching Walford episode 15. Had a bit of a blip here. Show is nearly dead. Show nearly died for a hot minute there. But we're back on track. Back on your screens. Yeah. Go watch us on Spotify if you ever want to download the podcast and play it back on your long drive home from work. You want to catch up on this week of EastEnders, but without actually having to do it yourself. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, comment on the videos on any of the dumb calls to action we've made before, any cool discussion points. Rate the podcast 5 stars on Spotify, subscribe, like the video, etc., etc. Yeah. Do you have anything else to say, Piggy?
If you like us, support our Patreon at Easily Entertained.
There is no Patreon.
If you want to support us on Secret Cams, we will be setting up shop next week. You will see Ash's schlong and you'll see my Yamaha key drum machine thief. So be excited.
That is exciting.
And we'll be joined with Stacey Slater.
Indeed, a cameo, a collaboration. Sorry, a secret cam supporters and creators need to stick together.
I wouldn't. Do you have any OnlyFans models you want to shout out?
No.
I have a few. By a few, I have 3 or 4. Or did you want me to shout them out? Or, like I was just waiting for your approval.
uh, um, sure, why not? Don't get too much into it though.
Right, so you go follow Bills, that Marvel girl, right, Lolo Brow, and this trans woman who is called Kenzie All of Me. Get it?
Okay.
Because her name's Kenzie.
Yeah.
Kenzie All of Me. Get
Yeah.
it?
Right,
Hilarious.
decent. Yeah. Support the sex workers and the traitors.
And she's also a rapper, Kenzie.
Oh
So
shit!
yeah.
Really?
So
Nice.
support her on SoundCloud while you jerk off to her pics on OnlyFans. So
Reasonable. Catch you next week on Watching Walford. I've been Ash and I've been joined by Piggy.
I've been Piggy from Piggy's Bedroom.
Indeed. Brought to you by Salted Peanuts. See you.
Actually, oh, hold on. And there was a chocolate bar there. It was Cadbury's Delight Hazelnut and Caramel.
Lovely. Lovely.
It was a nugget, and I think that's what they were called.
Yeah. All right. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.